Preview show episode 273. Welcome to the boys. We've got Rob Scurry and Jack Dickens. No Benny Sid today.
Where's Benny?
Benny couldn't make it.
Should I
Couldn't.
ring him?
What was that?
I could ring him.
That's no help.
He's
What did we going to put him on speaker?
Yeah, you're
he's
right, Rob. You're always right. I don't know why I don't listen to you more often.
he's given us his best bet though, so we do have that.
Should we recap how that's all going? How did your thing go in New Zealand?
Yeah, my thing won, which is
Wow.
pleasing. Jack's won, and then you and Benny are stuck near the bottom again. So we're going good.
Fuck it. JMac on Caliber. I called you, Jack, about that. What to do with it, JMac. All week I was thinking about that Calibus and thought it was $50, $60 chance. Big waste of time, Never got out.
I think it was a sound bet that you made. It just wasn't that horse's day. Kind of looked like a 3 kilo claimer at the 400. Unfortunately, even the best have bad days.
Yeah.
And what
How do you handle him? Like, I got a lucky result yesterday because I think he's overbet big time in the first race with the son of Kementari, Jono.
Look, I'm just here dribbling
only
yarn,
son.
but I think if we're going to talk seriously about betting, the only genuine thought I have about those bets is at that price point, you are rolling the dice more because of the position in run it's likely to be in than, say, steaming into the thing that's going to be in the coffin, the 1-1 or the lead. Like, there is another variable always to those type of horses. But if it was the same horse with the same stuff around it, the same numbers behind it, and it settles forward, you probably have to take $1.60. So,
yeah.
Gambling.
Anyway, it's gambling.
You briefly touched on it there, but you found Kementari's only son in the yard yesterday.
Yeah, it's a bit lucky. J-Mac was on this thing for Snowden for China Horse Club, which looked like a proper horse to me. As a free one punters, I think it's worth following. Probably didn't handle the track. I've looked at the stewards report. J-Mac said it didn't go a yard. So maybe complete forgive. Maybe it's got problems. I don't know. But Bravely,
we've all got problems.
Yeah, with any other jockey, Bravely's 240 or 250, and I'm 3.5. I'm steaming into it.
Yeah.
But J-Mac's on it, and I've got the big time J-Mac wobbles. So my fave, Jason Collett, was on the son of Kementari for Anthony Cummings. Good judge of a yearling he is, Anthony. And
is he?
Yeah, he's one of the best. Pat Neck Farm put him on a big retainer. You remember that?
Okay. No.
Tinkler.
Before my time, Big Nate.
Yeah,
struck it in the coal world.
Well, he's found some of the best horses Australia's ever produced. Anthony Cummings. Not sure. I think his son's probably, I'd probably rather his son as a trainer, but Anthony's a very good judge. Might and Power being the best of them.
Well, speaking of good horses, they're well and truly coming back this weekend.
It's so fat. It's juicy in both. It's a big day for Channel 7. You kind of have to. I'm a racing.com man, but I feel like you just kind of need to watch it in. Just pray to God it's HD, because sometimes you catch the 7-2 telecast and it's low D and it's pain. But probably going to be .com and 5 to 8 day, to be honest. But if I was at home, I didn't have options. If I was inside, probably 7-2 or 7, hopefully 7 HD, because you'll get the best of both worlds there.
Or trackside 1 and 2 for our New Zealand viewers.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many of those have we got?
So in the NZ, the Sydney and Melbourne's like not its own thing, is it? Would it be?
They would be on trackside 1, which is like the predominant channel on a Saturday.
But what else is on that channel?
The New Zealand racing, and then occasionally on a midweek they'll chuck in the dogs on the same channel, and it's just chaos.
So is it going to be on Saturday? You have New Zealand racing, Caulfield and Randwick, or will you also have Queensland and Adelaide?
Yeah,
and
probably Queensland, and then probably Adelaide as well, and then the rest would go to 2.
I miss the old TVN day sometimes, Robbo.
All right,
good junket days.
Should we get into it? We'll have a look at Randwick first. Rob, just a quick thought. Any thoughts around how the track will play?
Well, disappointing to see it's a heavy 8. We've only had like 10 mil. I might be bit more than 10, but it's been dry as a bone here for like 2 or 3 months. Nice weather predicted. I'm thinking it's going to get to a 6, maybe a bit. So let's call it dead. Last time it was a true rail. Only 1 litre won, and he wanted to be, running line. He didn't want to be on the fence. So I'm thinking, especially as the day goes on, the wider barriers will be advantaged.
Will that suit? We might as well go straight to race 5. We talked about him last week and he was scratched. Race 5, the Show County Quality, the return of Extremely Lucky. Sounds like the way the track's going to play will certainly suit him.
Yeah, sounds like it. And I don't know if it was going to beat that thing that Waller had last week, Alentia. But I hear it's a bit of a rat to look at. I'll probably.
Oh, no.
What?
You're already growing yourself. I haven't got there.
But look, I was on Rocketing By when RIP Big Parade broke down. He pushed the pain barrier.
Rocketing By is nommed in Melbourne as well.
Saw that.
Well, yeah, I think that looked like my value bet in the race, but it's drawn low. It's a swooper. It's got Jace on it. But yeah, I was keen to have a look at him because I thought he paraded super first up. He looked like a coiled up spring at the 350 before all that trouble. I'm certain he was going to run into a hole. Never catching It's Me, but whatever it's called, the Mar Eustace mare. Yep. But Rocketing By looked like it was going to run a big race, as did Golden Mile. I think they were going to finish second and third in front of Dragonstone, which is $9 in this market, and Rocketing By is at $18. Jack, any thoughts?
Buenos Noches is a very, very nice horse. I think you can try and swerve it first up because it's just a real good horse. But I think, like, if you look through its numbers, it's often well worse in midfield. But it started single figures in the Black Caviar Lightning, and then it was single figures, drifted to $10 in the new market. So it's been beat by In Secret. That's
winning there.
That's proper form, and potentially maybe intent if we focus a little bit on narrative, which we love at the Mailbag. We always have big narrative operation. Are some of these horses a little bit more wound up than you traditionally anticipate, Roberto? Just chasing a little Everest slot.
Yeah, you'd want to be looking good if you haven't got a slot here. Extremely lucky it gets its chance. If this thing runs off pace, runs on, Buenos Noches, why doesn't it get its chance? It should get its chance here. I'm suggesting it's going to be hard to lead in these shorter distance races. But yeah, looking forward to having a look at them all. Is that thing beat me when I was on Spacewalk and got a bullshit protest go the other way? Was it Buenos Noches? I think it might have been.
That beat Spacewalk at Flemington.
Yeah. They overturned it. It was a dodgy decision.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I was on the wrong. I like Spacewalk, one of those forces.
Yeah, you're a big Spacewalker. Yeah.
All right. Did you have any opinion on the Premier's Cup, Rob, the 2,000 meter Group 3, or should we
race number
6?
Yeah, I thought almost the each way bet of the day came up here. I don't bet each way, but
hang on, let me guess. Can I go? I think it's probably going to be a Waller horse.
Normally would be, but
I'm going to go Desert Icon.
He's a worry, nice looking black horse, but I think it's Hosier. I think that's an ex Lloyd. Ex Lloyd William.
They sell winners.
They do. They have that Vengeance of Rain. Oh God, it's all coming back to me today. Anyway, Hosier, we were on it the other day at Rose Hill. It was a close finish. I think it's got it's progressing the right way. It's got my man Jace on it. Barrier 6. It loves a bit of a sting out of the track, and it's $7. I think it's an each way bet. I've never been a rat for King Frankel. Hosier for me, I think he's one of the better bets on the program.
Okay.
Faulkner Park is I think must be the favourite there, is it? Be coming from the back. It was pretty good storming home last start. The Annabelle Nation.
Yeah. Looks a little bit progressive. Gate 16. I'm not sure the wide barriers are so suited here in this 2,000 meter race.
Yeah.
So I think these horses can make up quite as much ground. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, Hosier for me. Other than that, yeah, I don't see much progressing here at all. This is a very, the cupboard is bare at 2,000 meters in Australian sort of Group 3 level. It's pretty average.
All right, all good. We'll move on to race 7, which is the Group 3 toy show quality. I see Zoo Gotcha stays in that field. It was scratched from that earlier race 5 that we just took a look at. Any thoughts here?
I think it's a 3-horse race. Zugotcha should get its chance. I expect it to run very, very well first up. Parasail.
Loves Shamad. Just loves everything, really. It's a good horse, isn't it? Zugotcha.
It's a bit like Fangirl or something, maybe. Maybe she's obviously a bit better credentialed, but Parasail for Godolphin, which is a stable going really well at the moment. I think this is, this horse has swerved some really tough racing. It's just progressing nicely, and I expect it to progress past a horse like Queen of the Ball. And North Star Lass is honest front runner. If it gets a picnic in front, it should give a good sight. I don't know much about the Philip Stokes horse at all.
It's a Caulfield horse. It sort of didn't have the profile to run second to Sire, and it did. It was the 6th best last 200 meters, the 3rd best last 400 meters of the day. Gap between runs, but that's kind of the style this horse does. Its last run was as good as it sort of goes.
Loves the wit.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I don't know. It's a hard horse to catch, I reckon.
Well, I think those 3 Sydney horses are, borderline Group 1 horses. Sort of at sort of handicap level. They're all Parasail's only rated 90, so I guess I got to go that way with the weight swing. Jean Van Overmeers, you're going to get a price, but you're taking a provincial rider.
All right, perfect. Shall we move along to the Group 1, Race 8, the Winks Stakes over 1,400 metres? You briefly touched before on Mwanga, Rob.
She's back too. She's back, guys. J-Car. Heads to Sydney. What a woman. Is she moving there properly or just for this meeting?
Probably Zaki, I would have thought.
Chasing Zaki, full credit.
Up against the big boys. Look, that's probably the horse to beat, but he's like a 10-year-old now. Or maybe Fangirl. It's proper Group 1 form around this sort of 1,400-1,600 meters. But yeah, I'm sort of slowly warming to Mwanga. He's a horse that you got to see in the parade, but he just seems to be getting better and better as he gets older, as he parades. And I think he might continue to improve. Barrier 16 here. I'd like to see him. He might get caught 4 wide, or 3 wide. But if he's 3 wide with cover, in the front third of the field, and if they're going slow or they're going quick, I think he'll be there wide on the track. So yeah, Mwanga for me. But obviously I want to have a look at all these horses. Golden Mile, I mentioned him earlier. I think he's suited at 1,400, but barrier 2 could be a problem this late in the day.
I think the track and the track rating will dictate the price and the chances of Fangirl. Doesn't swim, but gets through a soft, loves good ground. 100%. It's a proper horse, like a proper horse. Started at $8 on average versus Animo.
Yeah.
God. Good God.
Good gal. Hinged, she loves it soft. Parading well. What price will she get to?
It's interesting horse Hinge because you can tie them, like obviously you can tie a lot of these like through each other.
Yep.
You know, Hinge was going around. I have to look this up, but I reckon Hinge was going around about the same price as Fangirl start of the year in good races.
Yeah, and they had clashes, in the Classic this time last year. It was
Karen,
Fangirl.
Group 1, prize money.
He's going well, Kieran, at the moment.
100%.
There's money. Who's J Mac on Fangirl? I have to ground myself up, but yeah, look, she's got that 1400-meter kind of explosive turn of foot. Is there any speed here at all? I know I don't.
Big field, you anticipate a bit of speed. Lindemann, Navajo Peak, Major Beal, Think It Over. They all could go. Mwanga could go. Golden Mile's got a bit of fitness. You'd want to go. Communist has got speed. And then there's Zaki who should go. Yeah, I couldn't fall into Zaki though, personally. Like there was that preparation where JK rode at every start and they just went too slow. She's first up off 4 or 5 months riding. No, not at that price for me. I'd be happy for you to send something at a double figure price here and just tumble into it.
Well, where's Moonga going to get to? Anyway,
it's cast.
Yeah, but 1400 you can sit wide. They usually go slow. It's
going to have to.
Yeah.
He did start the 2 starts ago. He started 290. I've got it up now. 290 versus Dubai Honor.
I know.
I did start the same price as Fangirl in the what was it?
Rambit.
Chipping Norton. Ugh. Anyway.
Well, Moana was my worst bet of last year against Dubai Honor. I backed it against that full cannons, I think, 3.5 units. And got destroyed by Dubai Honor.
The great game, you do you.
Just finally, King Colorado for the Kieran Maher Dave Eustace camp. That's well on the market. 50.5 kilos coming off with JJ Atkins win. You wouldn't have never seen that before, I don't think, Rob. It was out at Kimbler before it went to that. So,
okay.
Interesting runner, interesting price.
50
Kiwi horse?
Not a Kiwi horse, I don't think.
Colt by Kingman. Woo.
Yeah,
I think it was shit, Rob.
They steamed into this and made some money off the bookies, I think.
41s into 14s at Eagle Farm in the JJ Atkins Group 1 for the 2-year-olds. Over 600 metres, returns here fresh off the 70 days between runs, back to 400 metres. The same distance it won its maiden at the start prior. Fascinating what the market does to this thing. Good God.
I was thinking it was pretty short at the moment at 850. It's been 18. It opened 18, so
$12 at Toppy.
Something's got a scratch for it to get a run. So
scratched already.
Hasn't.
Oh, Rapho's that. Sorry, which I hear is going to Japan to race in the Group 1 on a rock hard track, and get gapped and maybe never want to run again.
Full credit to him for having a crack.
Yeah.
Any other races we're going to look at Royal Randwick?
That'll probably do us, unless you had. Do you have your best bet somewhere else, or?
I'm not. I want to know where Kamachi's going. She's down to double nominated for Caulfield as well.
I would think she'll go to Sydney because the map at Caulfield looks really, really tough for her. Not really, really tough.
Yeah, well, she's drawn wide in Sydney as well. Estria, which I think is coming out of the July 29th meeting, which I think is going to be a good platform. There's a couple of horses that have won off that meeting. Smashing Eagle last week, Wind Chat and Little Buyer yesterday. I just think it's a really good, if you've got a horse that ran well that day, look for them. But yeah, it's really a yard race, one of my favorite. I love the 3-year-old fillies. I'm not sure who I'm going to fall in love with. I've already seen Estria. She's a lovely, elegant style of horse, and she's coming off that 29th of July when she was just got nutted by Calibus when she was so brave. Ran so, running OSL and then kicking back on the line. She's got a great platform to win this, but there's 14 other fillies which should be running well.
It's certainly that sort of day. If you wanted to ever get into the mounting yard, Saturday will be a great day to start in Sydney or Melbourne. You got high quality, well-bred 3-year-olds first up. It's a great benchmark to set your eye to. You got Group 1 weight for age horses returning fresh, and you can follow them throughout a preparation. You learn so much if you start on Saturday doing the mounting yard.
Yeah. And you only have to get there at race 5. Like the first four or five races are not that good, but then you've got, these ones just to focus in on for 2 to 3 hours. What I'm doing is I'm sort of, I love Warwick Stakes Day, and I'm sort of comparing these horses to horses that I've seen from years gone by. What they look, how they presented on this day, and what I'm looking for, and whether the 2-year-olds have, grown into the 3-year-olds, or who's that new, 3-year-old off the maiden win the other day. Can't wait to get out there. Excited.
Perfect. All right. Shall we move across to Caulfield? Jack, did you want to drive here? I see race 6.
I'll drive. Firstly, did you guys watch the soccer last night?
I watched the first half.
Yes, all of it.
Do you reckon that's one of the biggest moments in sport, her goal? I can't remember being like that sort of impressed by anything.
It was a great strike.
More impressed.
Yeah, but it was cancelled out by the tap in miss from 6-yard box. Should have got that one.
God, you're brutal, man. God, you're brural.
It was a team.
I think
she put it over the bar.
Set in though. She's missed too many minutes.
Yeah, but no, look, it was. We were all out of our chair. It was glorious. It's not quite Kathy Freeman in the suit, but it was
same great. Joint as Kathy too. 23 years later, probably 22 years and 10 months. I reckon the Olympics was in a September-ish slot. Anyway, you can't bring up Bradbury, but that was a great moment in Australian sport. The Poms have found a way to get us right in the snufter at that joint. Remember Johnny Wilkinson on his non-preferred slotted over in the Rugby Union World Cup final. Non-preferred, if you don't mind.
I know. I was.
They were singing, and I was there that night. They were singing the whole. It was like an English home game.
I was walking up William Street to the cross, and some pommies out the car window. Will you build this fucking country?
They have got good chat, the Poms.
Yeah,
good chat.
Huge talk.
Shit water, good chat. Caulfield rails out 9 meters, isn't it? I'm really tight. Yeah, it is 9 meters, which is interesting. Outstanding conditions so far this week in Melbourne. Like really beautiful conditions. Rain predicted this afternoon. A little bit's hit, but not enough to make a dent. I'll just sort of wait and see what happens as we get closer. I anticipate it's relatively even pattern-wise, probably a slight edge to being inside as opposed to outside with a 9-meter rail. I'm working my way through the meeting with Lindsay and Will slowly because it's just a big fat thing, 10 races, a lot of trials. I think life lessons can get your day started in race 2. Lindsay's given the trial a decent push. And it's just provided it's trialled okay and it parades okay, be good to see what Jackson says from the yard. It's almost a group horse versus these sort of benchmark horses. So it looks very, very hard to beat. I'm surprised it's not a little bit shorter. I expected they'd put up a 280 for you to make a decision about, not 350, which I think's available now. 350. I think 350 is a phenomenal price for life lessons to get your day started. In race 1, the horse I've been following a little bit's First Mate. Blake Shin goes on from barrier 4. I think it's going to be really hard to beat, but that race is jam-packed. There's a lot going on. I like a horse here, Rick's Cafe, a little bit, but worried the map. Need to do more work on that race. Race 3, Varvia looks very, very hard to beat, but it's a race with a few angles. Zorro's Dreams above average. Shove Over, roll forward with Ollie's big price. Dothraki was good last start. Climbing Star's a nice horse. SPs versus good horses. Where's it going to get to? Strip Back's a big price, was not suited badly last start. Ollie Sticks from 4. Calico Jack, a horse I backed at Moe, and I took $3 and it started $1.40 and lost. It's since, done what it should have done that day at Moe and won, and it's got ability. It's a nice race, race 3. Race 4, haven't done enough work on. Race 5, got one for there, but Lindsay found this. So we'll leave that for the preview tonight for the mailbag.com.au. Head to the shop and buy my stuff preview. Race 6, good luck, punters. What do you think here, Jono?
Well, just immediately, it's our time.
They back Savannah Cloud. If you thought the race was hard enough, they've backed Savannah Cloud. Sorry, John. Take it away.
I was just saying it's our times of Flemington horse, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Rocketing buys in this race at the moment. Blake Shin rides, Robbie. Bandersnatch first up, 60 kgs. The GOAT, Detonator Jack, very, very nice animal, is back. Umgawa, who was very good behind It's Our Time last start down the straight, returns to Caulfield, drawn 7. Harry Coffey rides. Boogie Dancer is a wetty. So if you owned it, you're outside right now doing a rain dance, just praying it keeps on coming, because then you're a big chance here. But if it doesn't, you can't win. The tail's even longer than that.
William Thomas, rattling home last start.
I know.
See that?
Yeah, but if you're going to back William Thomas on a Saturday,
hey,
and it's not 3-figure priced,
with Amy Herman aboard. Who's that?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Who's going to lead research? Who's going to lead Ollie on Bandersnatch? Like, Bandersnatch is one of those good sort of benchmark horses that can set a decent tempo. He's a proper welter horse, Bandersnatch. Good looker too. So it's like close to a weight for age horse who is better on speed, but he usually kind of, when he gets to control, he runs a good race. Is he going to get control here, or is there something going to go past me and I can back Rocketing by, which might be a certainty with Blake Shin?
Yeah, well, there you go. Summed it up pretty well, and I don't really have the answer. That's why I'm not betting. Now, moral time. Race 8, number 2, Cylinder, great trials, was back to win a golden slipper. This camp improves him the longer they have him. He will win race 8, number 2, Cylinder. Gamble responsibly, 1-800-858-858, or visit the website if you have issues or you're concerned about the way you're gambling. But I will be gambling heavily on Cylinder. I think he's incredibly well placed in a weak race with horses that'll be sort of soft as they resume. Blake Shin's perfect rider for this horse. The barrier's fine. Very, very, very easy.
He's even getting a kilo off Little Bros. I don't know.
It's unbelievable, but it's just totally unbelievable behaviour. So yes, gets a kilo off him for having the same weight as him and starting $3.40 to beat him, $13 in a golden slipper.
He's proper A grade, maybe the best 2-year-old.
And the other time Little Bros and Cylinder met, Little Bros beat him, but he started $10, and Cylinder started $2.05.
Go. Market loves him,
and so it should.
It's probably a stallion chance. They'll be wanting to.
Well, it's a bit of a stallion race. Bivouac won this race, Rob.
Yeah, it's always veins.
Giga Kick won it last year, but Bivouac won it.
We get up the honour roll.
I've got the honour roll. I've got a bit of honour roll here.
Racing
From the early crow work, I do a little bit more research than a bit more narrative stuff. What have I got here?
Racing.com posted the Bivouac replay.
Good race historically. That's my note. Dickhead.
Vane was possibly that, it should be in the conversation, the top 5 horses ever out of Australia and New Zealand.
I reckon, God, that's such lazy work. I reckon Russian Revolution won this race, maybe, Rob?
Yep. Jukebox, Tony Niconi, Bivouac, Our Playboy, Ingratiating, Giga Kick.
Yeah, some of them aren't very good, but some of them are like proper stallions.
You can go back to the 90s. And
looking back, Seapoy, Star Spangled Banner, Harada Sun.
Yeah. Great race. Like traditionally a really good race, and excited for it on Saturday. I think Cylinder will kill him, but there'll be runs in this race that are worth following forward for sure. The next race, John, Rob, the PB Lawrence Stakes 400-meter Group 2 weight for age. The All-Star Mile winning, Epsom winning freak that is Mr. Brightside, who I think will improve his preparation.
Jack, it's a 2-time Doncaster winner.
Doncaster, I stuffed that up this morning as well. Yeah, it's back. It's drawn awkwardly, and it was revved up in its trial. So if that doesn't grey it right up, nothing will. I'm getting right around it. I just hate that setup. I thought it was slow to get into its work last preparation. Not as slow the preparation prior, but I don't think they knew how good he was that prep. He was beaten by good horses and was good versus the day and the races every start last prep. When he was beat, he raced 4 times. He was beaten twice. He won twice. But he won the races that was worth 5 million and 4 million, and ran like the tactics were to win in those two, and the tactics were less so to win in the first two, which was worth $750,000 each. I think we can get around him, and we need to get around him. Outside of that, attrition, very, very exciting animal. Attrition, very, very exciting animal. I hope he runs in Melbourne, not in Sydney, so I can have a good look at him and tie him through horses and form lines I understand better. I'm excited to see what he does, this horse, and I'm excited for Mitchell Freeman, who's a good man. I hope this horse lives up to the hype. But outside that, it's just everywhere. El Bodegon returns, gelded. Tuvalu's a freak. Deny Knowledge puts itself thereabouts. Chassis's got ability. Western Empire's good. Pinstripe's good. Uncle Bryn, God bless it, last start. And Pounding's going good. Buffalo River's got the goat on. Great race. Can't wait to watch it. Probably like Western Empire each way off Lindsay's trial report and just its profile back in the day and its map. If you want to have a bet now each way, John?
Benny said best bit of the day, Mr. Brightside.
Going for that strike rate. I was thinking about tipping something at $7. Now Benny's gone for even money shot. Look, it looks a weak fucking addition to me. It's a great. It used to be called the Liston Stakes, and yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a weak addition. Tuvalu, 650. Can that win, Jack?
Yeah, for sure. Plus Blake Shin Barris 16 suits it down on the ground. So like, if he's half slow, Blake's just so confident and positive versus most of these riders in Victoria, which 9 times out of 10 is an advantage. 8 times out of 10. I just think he can put that also to the race. I'm tempted to take Benny's bet there at that price. I think Mr. Brightside is the best horse in this race, for sure. Fair. But it's a big price for a horse with an awkward draw. So from that draw, the way I read it, he's got to show proper intent to jam him into a decent spot midfield, 3 wide cover probably. Or he just rides him quietly to protect him and not ruin him for a big preparation.
You look at
this horse is going to try and peak, I'd assume.
Yeah.
In the Cox Plate, which they haven't even had the first night meetings yet at Moonee Valley. They've only had the 2. It's a long way off peaking. I just don't think you need to fall into the $2. I anticipate it starts closer to sort of $3.
Agreed. Look at his career.
I've been wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I get lots wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong here. I've got a lot of respect for what Ben says, and it's confused me that he said that.
Look, it's the best. It's definitely the best horse in the race. Definitely the best horse in the race. But if you look at his career,
on the last prep, it is. But if you go back, Tuvalu's got runs at Caulfield that shit upon Mr. Brightside's runs at Caulfield. Western Empire's got runs everywhere that are proper big. El Bodegon had that run, didn't it? Is El Bodegon the horse that ran before the Cox Plate that went as good as the Cox Plate? It's a freak. Pounding
hasn't done a thing
went
since El Bodegon.
Went enormous last prep. The longer it went, the tougher it got, and the better it went. I'm convinced Pinstripe's a Group 1 horse, just hasn't won a Group 1. Uncle Bryn's flying. And
Jack,
then
I'm trying to say something to warn the punters. This horse has had 11 wins from 23 starts. It's getting better as it's getting older, but it's had 5 first up goes for a win, a second, and a third. First up is always seems to be its worst run. And you're saying it's got, bigger fish to fry in October. So
I just thought it was an easy horse to be against at the price. On top of all of what you said, which I agree with, it's the barrier. If it's drawn 5, you can just see it's like three pairs back, 1 off, and you're like, oh fuck.
All right, Zoom shut us down for elapsing the full time, but we're back. What are the final thoughts on the PB Lawrence, guys?
I am going to lay Mr. Brightside.
Wow. Okay. Rob?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I don't think the horse runs that well first up, but look, I'll leave it to Jackson to deliver me something from the mounting yard. Just happy to keep my options open there.
Gonna lay it like 2:30. Beyond that, I'd probably just watch it.
Where's it going to get to in the run? Over 1,400 at Caulfield. It's not going.
No, but I'm not gonna like if someone at home just. It's about the price you lay it at. Like, don't lay it at $5 or $4 or $3. I'm saying $2.50 sort of pull you up.
Really? Why don't it get to? I think it'll get to $3.50.
Well, it might grain up, bro. Arbitrage.
All right. Summarising Caulfield, then Benny Sid's got Mr. Brightside on top. Jack's choosing to lay it. Jack, what's your best bet at Caulfield?
I like life lessons in race 2, and my best is Cylinder.
All right, perfect. All right, we'll head over to Kiwiland.
The White Isle.
We're back at Ruakaka, which we've had a bit of success there before, and we've got a race that actually.
Are you still the number 1 seed on this show, or have I taken?
No, we're equal, you and I.
Okay. Right, so for the show, do I have to pick 1 or 2?
Yeah, you picked a $1.70 chance again. Fucking hero.
Winners win. I'll go with Cylinder this week.
I've received a few emails from Bloodstock clients of people that are taking the multi of me and yours, Jack, because that goes in our Bloodstock newsletter. So
if you want to get the Bloodstock newsletter, the mailbag, bloodstock.com.au.
Correct.
And follow the links.
Yeah, people have been doing well.
Group 2 place indicators.
That's it. But we've got to talk about the thing at Cranbourne, Jack. It's almost the highlight of your weekend. Little Bonnie mare going around.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We've got to finish off.
We're in New Zealand at the moment.
Jono's got to step up to the plate here and find us a winner at
Ruakaka. All right. Now, I've mentioned a few times on the show this horse, ex-Hong Kong horse.
Oh, you love this horse.
I do.
But you've been against it, and now the story goes full circle. Against it again.
Very warily, but I am against it. How
many times has it won? Like, you've been against it, 3 times?
Yeah.
And how many times has it won of those 3?
I think it must have got scratched from 1, and it ran 5th last 2 starts ago when I had Dragon Leap.
Pissed in, that did.
That was lovely, yeah.
MF.
Another ex-Hong Kong horse is who I'm siding with here. It's called Wandering Apache. In Hong Kong, it was called Mighty Giant. Might be aware. It's a Group 1 horse over there. It ran 3rd in a Group 1 behind Waikuku and the other one, what is it, Southern Legend. So all around that, that form you would have seen like Golden 60, those sort of races with those sort of horses. So, the top echelon of racing over there. I had to talk to our man, Peter Anthonys, who obviously is a bit more into the Hong Kong form. He definitely knew about the horse and said, yeah, it used to be very good and kind of lost its way last prep. Comes to New Zealand. This will be first up, 1,400. Trialled up a storm, trialled very, very nicely. Handled the heavy ground. It's going to be a good 4 here on Saturday, but which I think it'll suit fine. But the reason I liked its heavy ground trial was I think it's a chance in our Tarzino Trophy. which is a Group 1 over 1,400 meters weight for age. It's currently $41 in the futures. And I think it's worth a little sneaky go. It's not my best bet. The futures isn't my best bet, but I will make it my best bet for Saturday. It's got to carry 61.5 kilos. Its Hong Kong counterpart carries 62. But I think, it trialled up so nice and draws barrier 1. I think it should just sit in behind the speed, and hopefully it's back to its best and can show its class. I think nothing else can win apart from the other Hong Kong horse.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Tarzino Trophy, Wandering Apache, $41. Have a little nibble on that.
Okay.
But it's paying $4.20 for Saturday, and that'll be my best bet.
Oh, good price, John.
All right. Yes, Rob, you mentioned our little mare Face the Jury racing.
Nothing little about her. She's a big girl. She's a type. Like, she's a proper. You absolutely adore her, Rob.
Nice hind.
Yeah, good hind quarter. Great shape.
She's looked so good this whole preparation. Her coats look so good compared. Obviously you line up all the horses on the updates on a Friday, and she just looks immaculate.
Now, slight setback. Billy Pinn suspended. But we've gone with Carleen Heffel, which is pretty flary by us. But
she's still claiming?
She doesn't claim in this race. No.
But she knows the horse a little bit. She jumped it out. I like her hands on front rolling horses, which is this horse. So we went that way. Obviously already now, God bless this horse. It owes us absolutely nothing. But this would be a phenomenal result for everyone involved if we could pinch another race with a lot of Vobis attached to the race. She'd pick up a fair chunk of money. So God bless Face the Jury. God bless you, Carleen Heffel. And God bless you, the father of God is the father of Jesus. Benji.
Jesus. I think she'll win back to 1,000 meters. She just builds the bridle, this horse, just wants to, doesn't want to let things past her. And she's rocketing through the sprinting grades. Should win. What price she's going to be? You're going to be favourite, surely.
No, I think Get Up Girl, Clinton McDonald, Ben Mellon. That's a scary setup. If I was bookmaking, I'd want to keep that pretty safe. Blake Shin goes on to Bifrost, who is a 1,000-meter horse. Stay in Touch has ability. Celine Gaudreau claims off Savaboom.
Is Get Up Girl a 1,000-meter horse, you think? Drawn 10 probably goes back. But
Ben Mellon's on, so I don't know. I think we're going to run a good race. I think she's a nice horse. She's assaulted, bashed, destroyed the class benchmarks on her way through.
She had no right to win last start.
I agree. And I think should be suited 1,000 meters Cranbourne. She's a high speed horse.
Yeah, I think she's suited to if you could get Jamie Carr on it, that would be the ultimate. Real hands rider, because I wouldn't. We love Billy Pinn, but we
might have to get you to contact Uncle Chris. Sunday afternoon, talk Everest slots. When she puts these away.
No, she's not taking the calls, mate. Anyway,
shout out to Uncle.
Yeah,
we still love you. Half of Twitter hates your guts, mate, but we love you, guys. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. I hope that your team wins if they're playing footy. Unless you go for the Crows. Shout out to the Matildas. What a team! What an experience that was last night, Rob. Yeah, united a country that rarely is united.
My 10-year-old daughter cried. Just I thought she'd hurt herself. I'm like,
hey, I hugged a grown man when she kicked that goal. Stuff I was up and about. Just have a great weekend, everybody. I love you, Jono. Keep dominating.
Up the Wales tomorrow night.
What's that?
Up the Warriors tomorrow night.
They've got a pretty winnable game, don't they?
Manly.
12.5 point favourites, I think, against Manly. Manly out of contention, Rob. I know you like to sort of put the tinfoil hat on, sort of out of contention, headed over to New Zealand. I'm smelling boys trip.
Yeah. It's junk time for the season.
Yeah, I'm smelling Warriors into the overs, into a news story on NRL 360 on Tuesday night about some type of NRL player still lost in New Zealand.
All right, perfect.
Allegedly. Have a phenomenal weekend. And
Thank you, boys. Good luck.